KB Experiment.
What's going on, everybody? It's the KB Experiment with your leader, Master, King Borris. I'm just a host, I guess. Hope you guys are doing all right with all this crazy shit going on outside. All I can say is stay safe and wash your damn hands. Today's episode is brought to you by Luxurious Bastards. It's a company for the bearded man. Luxurious Bastard has a ginormous line of products for your face. I use the beard oil and the beard balms religiously. I've actually used them for a few years now. I've had several companies over the years send me products through Instagram and influencer stuff. Luxurious Bastard always stood out. The smell, the hold in the beard, the shine. A lot of companies, they don't have longevity. This one does. Luxurious Bastard, the 1912 is my favorite. The balm and the oil. When I tell you 14, 20 hours later, you can still smell it. You jump in the shower the next day, and all you do is smell the beard balm. So, quality is amazing. I can't say anything more than go check it out. I'm going to put all the info in the description. LuxuriousBastard.com. I'm not spelling that for you. Good luck with that. But on with the show. So I got my brother from another mother, Baldini just like me, the mayor, Paul Harris. I think you're going to enjoy this one.
King Borris, my man, how are you? This is a long time coming. I know we've had all this time during the craziness of the last has it been 3 months now or something like that? Something like that. But I'm excited to finally do this podcast with you. I know our running joke has always been save it for the podcast, so we have saved a lot for the podcast. So I'm excited to be on.
That's what's up, man. I'm glad to have you, and let's tell this world about what we do, how we do it, and who we are. The DM on Instagram from a Paul Harris, and I'm like, okay, well, let me answer it. We ended up on the phone, and we talked for like a good hour or so. He introduced himself, and ever since then, literally, we've been talking, every week for the last, 2 years now?
Oh, I probably longer. It goes back into it would have gone back into 2018
Wow.
Because of, so it's 2018, early part of 2018. Actually, I don't think I DM'd you as Paul Harris. I would have DM'd you from the company I was the CMO
Oh,
of.
yes.
The protein water, and I think you had found me, or we found each other through a hashtag, through a Gary Vee hashtag. And I think you are the only person, besides you and Gary Vee, are the only two people that have probably shown up in every one of my posts on Instagram as a hashtag. I always you and Gary both, ever since you and I have met, have been in every you're a hashtag, and hashtag King Borris in every post I've ever done. And I think we met actually because of the Gary Vee post. I think I tagged Gary Vee, and I showed up and that was through the protein water company, Pro Balance Protein Water, and that's where our relationship started, all the way back sometime early part of 2018. So better part of over 2 years.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I don't know exactly when, but I know I was at the store with my family. We were shopping, and I had to walk away because it was a good conversation. We talked for a good hour or so. We put out a lot, and and I'm glad we did. People don't understand that Instagram can actually do things for you in positive and negative ways. But I will say, meeting Paul Harris is one of the the biggest things that happened in all of this that I've been doing. Only
right.
because, everyone. Everyone. When I tell, I've never seen a human that goes, oh yeah, I know him. I know that person. Oh, let me call him. It's like, what? Oh yeah, we played baseball. We went to high school. We did this. I'm like, dude, that's that's crazy. So,
well, the name came from you, and most people. Yeah. I know you've reshared stories for me, or you've reshared brands that I've tagged you in that I work with and promote and consult for, and so you were the one who came up with the name as the mayor, Paul Harris, and it kind of came about a time when, as you know, there was an upheaval in my life and my world. We'll kind of talk briefly because it's really, while it's important, because it was a launching pad to really where the mayor, Paul Harris, has come on as its own, my own persona, a brand, literally people. I was just asked this the other day from a guy who was a plumber out here working at my home, and he said, I remember I called him back, and my phone came up on his phone for some reason, the mayor Paul Harris, and he goes, what are you the mayor of? And I said, well, I'm the mayor of everywhere I go. So, and the same thing with my business cards and my cigars. When I share with people, it's kind of funny. That's the number one question, like the mayor, what does that mean? And it's really a great opportunity for me to take that one phrase, the mayor, and explain. And it really does explain, all about who I am, not only as a person, how I operate as a entrepreneur, business consultant, whatever, title you want to give what I do. But I love connecting people with brands or brands into distribution for retail. And as you know, I've put products on the shelf nationwide. I've taken companies, I've put brands and product placement on, TV or, reality, TV shows. I've had the great fortune of being on sponsoring 2 cars at the Indy 500 with my friend David Bird and Jonathan Bird's Racing.
Did you ever drive one?
No, I'm too big to be an Indy car man.
I would love to drive one.
But, to be on, for a full season with AJ Foyt, one of the icons of racing globally, and to get to know AJ and Larry, the Foyts, in racing. And, and then my friends, I've gotten the great fortune of, meeting a lot of, celebrities and athletes and CEOs and now really in partnership with a couple of amazing people I could have never dreamed it. And it really comes from, that whole name that you gave me. You named me the mayor, and that living, not only living up to that kind of persona, but that persona that I have is just, I do believe that people are important. Relationships are important, and they're more important than money. You've heard me say that probably 100 times, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
That people and relationships are more important than money, which is why I do a lot of the things I do, just because I love helping my friends and connecting my friends and believing that, in the end, people are going to treat you right. People are going to value you, and they're going to value what you do for them. Without trying to just get in their pocket per se, I'm all about making money. Don't get me wrong. I like the tool of money and all that it gives you, but you don't get to even have that tool in your hands if you're not willing to help people do what you're good at. And I'm great at what I do, and that's connecting, networking people, networking brands with investors or retailers or distribution. And I have the craziest stories of being at the right place at the right time. with whatever, and I call that's I've used this phrase since I was a mortgage banker, and we'll talk about a little bit of my past, from how I got to where I am today. But there's a term I use, synchronous convergence. It's really that being at the right place at the intersection of the right time, and always being prepared for every opportunity that comes to you. If you aren't prepared for opportunity will absolutely pass you by. And that's what I've tried to do in my life, is be prepared.
That's a fact.
and have, I touch a lot of worlds. I touch from, nutrition to liquor to sports beverages to athletes to celebrities. Just,
Right.
I have my finger in a lot of different industries, and that's afforded me the ability to be that guy or the mayor and connect people with things. So there's the kind of foundation of, who I am and what I'm about.
Yes. And just to elaborate on that, I like to call people from the vibes that I get from them. And as I've seen you work, I've heard you work, who you know, and the way you handle everything, it just reminded me of what a mayor would do. A mayor is running everything, and he's in between everything. And I just kept, and before I even told you, I just kept telling myself, man, that guy's like the mayor. So one day I just, you know what? I'm gonna start calling you the mayor, because you're like a damn mayor. Like, you shake everyone's hand one way or another. You know someone, they know you. But to add to that, the logo for your brand, the mayor brand, includes that cigar. And I feel that's important, because a lot of people will sometimes know your logo, your symbol, before they even know you. So by the time they meet you, they put it together like, oh man, because it looks like you. That's the picture of you. We had it done, put the cigar in there, and I was like, I think this is it's like a sticker, just like you put it on your cigar. It's perfect. It all came together.
That's all to you, my brother. You're the guy that even took that on as your own and, created that logo for me. And it blew me away when I saw it. I was like, that's it. That's it. I mean, and a lot of people, there's another side that, I get this from some of my buddies out here. I usually show up in a Tommy Bahama shirt and my own fedora. They're always like, are you like stepping off the boat out of Cuba? Are you out of Hawaii? I'm like, man, this is life. This is, I love the vibe of, every day is a Friday, as a friend of mine uses as his tagline on Instagram, every day a Friday. And it's not about looking forward for the party or the week or any, because to be quite honest, guys like me who are entrepreneurs and guys who, try to make things happen and, does make things happen and connects with people, sometimes the weekend, I don't look forward to the weekend, because it means most of the time business is stopped,
Yeah.
It's because the normal world in a lot of ways just is that Monday to Friday grind. And I'm a 7-dayer, I mean, I'm there's no telling what can go, and so,
right.
But it's always that mentality of it's 5 o'clock somewhere, little Jimmy Buffett, because I am from South Florida. I do have that whole South Florida, Miami world about me as well. And that I've taken out here to Phoenix, Arizona, where I live. And, there's that mentality of that just laid back, because I pretty much am. I mean, I'm a pretty laid back dude when it comes to just things. But I, as my good friend from, which I'm gonna plug here for Jet Access Aviation, my guy Jack Lambert, who's the CEO of Jet Access Aviation, private jet company. Jack's always said to me, Paul, you were always, and you might want to bleep this, but dude, you just make you make shit happen. And then we would.
There's no bleeping. You can curse. It's all good.
Then there's the other one that he likes to use, and he's like, and then when we would talk about stories, and he goes, and you can't make this shit up. And that's kind of been part of a kind of, you've alluded to, man, I've sat on airplanes next to people and have, it's a business deal. Next thing you know, it's connecting with somebody in Major League Baseball, or I've been. Just the other day, I was at my favorite cigar bar, another shameless plug, Torch Cigar Bar here in Scottsdale. And it was their 5th anniversary. I bought them a bottle of tequila, which I'll mention later, from my buddies from Tequila Diamante that I'm great friends with. And I brought him a bottle of tequila, and we're talking, and John and his wife Kelly love tequila, and they introduced me to the vice president of sales for one of the liquor distributors here in Arizona that I want to go meet with to help the brand get into distribution. So it's those stories, and you've said to me over and over, it's stories after stories after stories like that about being in the right place and connecting with people. And so I don't want to bore your audience with stories. Just like that.
This is what it's about. I like to talk about how people got where they're going, because some people don't know any type of formula for anything. And it's just you being yourself sometimes. You're just, your character, you leave an impression, and that goes a long way because that impression leads to other people. And, it's like anything else. When I was on the Gary Vee show live on his Instagram, he said, I hear a lot of good shit about you. That's why I fuck with you. That's what he said. And my brain said, wait, what? Gary Vee just say that? But I've talked to a lot of his staff and people around him. And, so that tells me that, in my case, people speak about me in a positive light. So, and that's what I put out. So it's really important, whether you're on a plane or it doesn't matter. If you have that right vibe, you carry yourself authentically, no matter what, it's going to be consistent. And as you meet others, people will see that. Like, okay, he's acting the same way now that he did then. So, because this is you. It's not, like you said, you don't turn it off. This is your life. You pretty much, your life is kind of like your work. You know what I mean?
100%, man. And that's what, and again, so I was talking to somebody today about, life skills and how people do things. And I don't even know when it changed. It might've changed when I was in a family business for 13 years. My ex father-in-law and I, he is passed away now, but, we had a direct marketing advertising company in the 90s. So, I mean, I'll date myself. I'm 51 years old. We'll be 52 this year. I'm Arrested Development at 17. So probably has a lot to do with me. But, being a product of the, 70s and 80s, really, as a growing up years and, into the 90s of my business life and career life starting, I was in direct marketing and advertising for 13 years. We had a company, we were AARPs, and that's for all of you young ones out there. That's the over 50 market. If you had a product that you wanted to market. What is AARP? So,
oh my Lord.
So, we had a direct marketing advertising company, and I was, just cut my teeth in the business world with him. And it was a great, learning experience, which, it's kind of funny. It was a post I posted the other day, talks about, you're not starting over again because you're not starting from scratch. You're starting over from experience with that experience. And so I started from scratch in the 90s in direct marketing and advertising with, old school amber screen,
Yep.
Computers that were running on floppy disk and running DOS.
With
real paper, printing up labels, and people actually would send us a check for, $17.99, and we'd have to process. And so we had a great business, and I learned a lot about marketing. I learned a lot about branding, and I learned a lot about, this is pre-internet, pre-email, pre-home shopping, pre-everything. And, we would move, 40,000 units of a product over a 1 month period, or, and 60 plus or 80, 70 over a 2 month period, when we would advertise. And so I learned a lot about the return on, how your words work and pictures.
Right.
We created ads in dark rooms in our bathroom at our office one of the bathrooms we converted into a dark room, and we're making ads the old school way, pre-Photoshop days.
Right.
And, actually physically doing the work without a computer, and, sending hard copies off, not even emails, that we would send off to AARP, which was at the time the largest circulated publication in the United States. And we were their largest advertiser for about 3+ years, almost 4 years. And so I learned a lot about branding. I learned a lot about how to talk to the public and how to create, and, just all kinds of things through that space. But that was a segment of my life that took experience from. And then the next phase, I kind of got tired of working for family and had a great opportunity to get into mortgage banking, and was a mortgage banker for a long number of years in South Florida with 3 offices and brokers. And I was a lender, and, so that gave me, so I took my marketing, then I had a finance, basically in the banking world and understanding that world. That took me into when the collapse happened. For all you young ones, there was a mortgage collapse in the late 2000s, middle 2000s, 2007, 2007, okay. For all you people under the age of 20. But from there, I went into investment advisory and got into, raising capital and bringing capital in for trading. And there's just been this progressive journey of opportunity, relationships that brought me to where I am today with, 25, 30 years of experience in marketing, branding, advertising, finance, lending, raising capital, that took me into, by luck and by happenstance, meeting the CEO of a energy drink out here in Arizona. Because I'd already helped raise capital for a sports nutrition shot that was in the marketplace. And then I got into the energy drink and beverage space. And
all right, so I get people from time to time asking me how I record my podcast. And I tell them it's simple. I do it on my phone, and I have a plug-in speaker. All I need is a quiet space and my phone, and it's free. They have all kinds of tools to help you do it, to edit, to cut, to ad-lib, whatever it is that you want. And once it's ready and you upload, Anchor has you all set up where you post it or upload the audio once, or the episode, and it'll distribute it across other platforms like Spotify or podcasts or Apple Podcasts. And it does it all for you, which is pretty neat, because sitting there trying to upload stuff takes forever. And you can make some money. So there's sponsorships, no minimum listenership. It's pretty darn easy. It's everything you need to make a podcast in your pocket. So go download the free Anchor app and go hit anchor.fm and get your podcast started.
Okay.
That opened up other, so there's just doors that just kept, just one door with next door, and, it just kept moving forward in everything I did. And I've taken all those years of experience so I can sit down and talk with CEOs of companies and deal with, category managers at, a Safeway or a Walgreens or a, Menards or a company like, Europa Sports, that's one of the largest distributors of nutrition products in the country, and talk to their, know their CEO. And those relationships are always in play, because I've talked to you and you know this, I get bombarded with opportunities for sports nutrition, clothing and apparel lines in the sports world. Now I'm very involved in, I got involved in the hemp and CBD space because of my relationship. I actually helped launch and brought in the folks from Black Jaguar, White Tiger, one of the largest true Tiger King foundations, Eduardo, who runs them in Mexico City, a phenomenal, real, pet rescue, big cat rescue down in Mexico City. But, Eduardo and them wanted to launch their first pet products. I helped put that whole deal together because of my relationships with people from South Florida that led to my relationships in the hemp space. And so if there's anything I want to communicate, probably to everybody that will hear this, and, the millions and millions of subscribers that King Borris has.
Yes. Multiple millions.
Those things is not as though they are. And a little biblical on you. And, but to people out there that really want to know, relationship and keeping relationships active and never stopping and always trying to figure out where to connect your network is so vital and important. And it doesn't always have to be about a payday.
Right.
Because sometimes it's not about the deal that you just did, that maybe you got something, whatever you did, you put it together, it's about the next opportunity that comes after that. And that's the way I see everything. I see every relationship as the best way I can say it. It's like network marketing. It's always about building a team and a downline of relationships that you can, touch and help. And, it's that whole like yours,
it's important.
Our 100%.
Important. You have to pick and choose sometimes, because of course there are toxic relationships out there, and I know there's people that will still engage with these toxic relationships just to do anything, versus I like to pick who I work with because my brand is specific. So networks are important, but you also got to realize that some of the people that are in those networks, you don't want them to poison anything, if that makes sense, to ruin another relationship, or so sometimes you got to tread carefully. And I only say that because I've seen it's happened, and you learn.
Well, you saw it happen to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So I'll just, and as I've already kind of spoken with my counsel on how to discuss this, but,
okay.
as we met through a sports beverage called Pro Balance Protein Water. In my opinion, as I sit here today, still the healthiest, best sports hydration beverage ever in the marketplace. 100%. I still will get contact. I'll still have MLB guys reach out and go, man, what can? I was like, dude, I have no idea. But, I raised a lot of money from some, I just won't go into the details of it, but just raised a lot of money from some very powerful, both athletes and investors, a couple of funds. If I said names, people would know who these people are.
Yeah.
And some very private investors, and I know you know them. And I was able to, literally take the brand from when I first got into it, where they were just starting out, and through almost 4 years, build the brand from social media to endorsers, influencers, people that you've actually ended up taking on their stuff. I'll name Mike O'Hearn and Mona were the face of the brand nutrition wise, in the gym scene. And Mike is one of the most amazing, kindest, great human beings I've ever known in my life. And he and Mona are still friends today. And, but we all went through a rough time because unfortunately, I didn't control the company. I wasn't the CEO and never tried to be. Many people thought I was, because to your point, I was everywhere. I was the face of the brand when it came to building the brand. But unfortunately, there were some things that just weren't being answered from the leadership of the company where they were. And there's unfortunately today you can't find the brand anywhere in the marketplace. It's unfortunate that, and I don't know if the brand will ever come back. But I just say that to say, you can have the best product, the greatest things going on, and being on, again, in visible national distribution, and one day there's no more product left to distribute, and there's no money to.
It's a problem.
It's
a huge problem.
All of a sudden, there's especially when you have orders that you just landed for a major grocery chain, and next thing there's not only is there no product, but there's no money to make product, and there's no money to pay payroll, and so again, I'm just saying what I can. I know that's honest to say, because I have all that backed up. But on the other side of it, the experience I got out of it is that every one of the people that I brought into the company, I am today friends with, can pick up the phone and have a conversation. I have conversations with a lot of these guys still to this day, this week, doing other projects with them, helping them do other things, helping them with companies that they own. consulting for them on. So that's why, to your point, integrity, character, being a first responder, man of your word, or person of your word. We'll say that, correctly. Yep. Being a person of your word is what's important in business. And again, one of my idols in this space, if that's the right word, mentor, if you really want to call it, he has no idea, is Gary Vee. And how you and I met, and that I listen to Gary, I listen to his podcast. I said this to you the other day. It's weird. I have access to him, as you know. There's some people that I know very well that could put me on the phone with him if I want. And I've just said, there's nothing I could ask him. And that's it's not about being arrogant. It's just being, I've listened to him, and what he said, I've applied. What has spoken to me out of the things that he has said that have like resonated and went, yes, I go do. And so, Gary, if you ever hear this podcast and you hear your
I'm going to send it to him.
Thank you very much for who you are and the way you've communicated, because it spoke to my heart. The message of gratefulness, the message of always, doing more than people ever expect is, that's always been a foundation of who I've been. But you've helped me to just continually capture that and remember that about everything I do. So thanks, Gary.
Yes. And I agree. I mean, me as well, I appreciate everything that Gary has done, because he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to. I mean, he gives all his content out for free. He doesn't have to. I mean, and he has so many platforms, and that costs so much money to, accommodate that. Recording, studio, I mean, name it. I mean, his, D-Rock follows him everywhere. Tyler is another one of his, assistants, I guess. And he has great people around him. He gives out everything that he can without expecting nothing in return. He doesn't expect anything. He never asks for anything, and that's humbling. I mean, I talked to him twice. The first time I talked to him, I really, like you said, I didn't have anything to ask him because you already gave me everything I need. So I said, you know what, let's just talk about just real regular shit. I'm from Jersey, you're from Jersey. We had a great conversation, and that was it. I didn't. So again, I can talk to him, but I don't have anything to ask him. And then what do I have to offer at the moment? So it's. I know it'll get there. I know one day we will break bread. One day we will share a stage. When, I don't know, but it'll get there. So I can wait. When we get that opportunity, it'll show up. And we'll talk about this. And I am going to send him this podcast, by the way. So I hope he does listen to it. But
then we should have started out with his name at the very beginning, so we'd have his attention throughout. So no.
Well, I'll give him the start listening here. And this is what we're talking about. So.
Well, but something he says, and this is the way I feel, is too many people chase the dollar. Too many people are chasing money. And, really, money should chase you. You shouldn't have to chase the dollar. You shouldn't be looking. The money should find you if you're doing things.
Yes.
And, today where I sit, I can't, just because I can't mention, but I have, them. I have two partnerships with two people that have, one is a sports team owner that, sold his sports team and has been a major player in a lot of arenas. And I'm coming in. There'll be an announcement, eventually. Okay. There'll be something, about my role and what I'm doing for their company and the partnership that I'll be bringing. There'll be some products. Everybody will, people that'll follow me and follow my page at the Mayor Paul Harris on Instagram. Same plug. That follow.
It'll be in the description. So
right, the products that I'll start, that we'll have to the marketplace, and then the other one is, we're about a week away from launching our own kiosk program with personal protection equipment, masks, hand sanitizers, and all that stuff in an automated kiosk. And I mean, this lady that I have partnered with is the queen of the space. She has probably, as an individual, come close to, her, if I said her name, you could Google her and then go, she sold almost $2 billion worth of products in the retail space, in kiosks, not in a store, but literally standalone kiosks in malls throughout the country, and just again out of
they're still there.
Yes, they are. They are. Well, the malls will open back up for real. But I mean, she and I, out of a relationship that came out of CBD, as you know, right? So out of relationship over CBD, here we are, almost a year and a half later, our partners in a completely separate industry. And that's something, again, so retouching that is, too many people get hung up in like, this is their lane and this is where they stay. Well, my lane, if your lane is relationships and building brands, you're not stuck in, it's not like I got stuck in sports beverage world. And that's the only thing I know how to do is sports beverages, because it translates over into, as I said, my guys with Tequila Diamante. Well, I have a relationship with them because I happen to be at an event that I was helping put on with my friends from Vault Media Group, and which is another company I'm, again, CEO is my friend. We talk literally every day of the week because I'm helping build something in the media space with them at Vault Media Group, which is sports and entertainment. So while my lane is still kind of connected into sports, it all coincides. And I think too many people just get pigeonholed, right? I mean, that's an old phrase, right? Of just getting stuck in this is one market I'm in. And that's all. I'm like, that's why I like to have my ability to, I have an opportunity to help somebody in the meal prep world, as you know Todd Abrams and the guys at Icon Meals, right? So anybody ever,
and I want to give a shout out to him as well, Todd. We talk here and there, and I tell you, he's an extremely positive person and has definitely helped me in my my mental journey of just being a better person. So I want to show him some love, and I'm going to plug his Icon Meals at the bottom of the description, because I've eaten them. They're actually pretty damn good, but he's just a great person, man. He's a family man, and I watch him often. We talk here and there, and much respect to you, Todd. Go ahead. You can continue.
100%. I appreciate it. And Todd doesn't know it yet, but I'll be reaching out to him either today or on Monday, because I'm going to need him to, I'm going to offer, I've got something for him as a relationship that's with a very powerful, family that's looking for meal prep, right? So it's just, it's being, having your ear to your, whatever you want to call it, but just knowing what's going on and having the ability to go, oh, I can help somebody here, and I can help somebody, I can connect somebody here. And now, I guess saying all that about that, I do realize that not everybody just has the personality to do that either. No, I get that. No. And I get that. And I get some people are just, they know how to do this and they're great at it. I wish I could say, the thing that I'm great at is the ability to connect everything. Am I great at sport nutrition? No. Am I great at, liquor distribution? No. Am I great at all these categories that I touch? No. I'll openly admit that. But what I'm great at is connecting all of that stuff and having the ability to remember and think and know somebody, and just all the networking that goes on to make that's what I'm great at.
And that's important. And that goes back to relationships, networking. If you're a scumbag, even though you have that network, doesn't mean that they're going to listen to you.
100%.
So, if Paul Harris calls, then, and again, you've put me in contact with many celebrities, and they'll tell me, well, because Paul recommended you, that's why we're talking. So pretty much, what you do and your persona is respected. And again, that goes a long way because you have proof in your pudding. There's a lot of people that want to help, and guess what? They they try and they kind of fuck everything up. You know, it happens, but you know, it's just the truth. And I've talked to a lot of these people that I have to pick up all the dirt that their old social company media did. They didn't know what they were doing. You know what I mean? So again, you have to have a certain type of character and persona and swag pretty much to go out there, make those relationships, because people could feel that. And when you're authentic, you know, they're gonna feel it.
Well, and it's like, you know, just what happened recently, right? With my friend, Carla, who we're gonna get that all. You know, again, she's had the same thing, and you know what she wants. Paul, do you know somebody? Of course I do. The guy that's taking care of me, right, and took care of my other company, and is taking care of my friend Cece Peniston. Hello, dear.
Yeah, love you, Cece. She was
yes.
a previous guest too.
You know,
I love that woman. She is so humble. Oh my God.
I know. We love CC, and again, you know, how we connected is another story that we just actually told. She kind of told the story on your podcast of how she and I met. But there's somebody else that I literally, there's another person who I'm hoping to set you up with to do a podcast and we can get him available. It's truly a business, like a mentor to me. And, you know, a lot of people think that a mentor is somebody that's older than you, this, much older person,
right.
Or,
wise old man.
Oh yeah. I can tell you this guy's name who I'm about to drop is truly the guy who is, if there's somebody I have physically, personally, because we've been together, traveled, done, and that's Joey Crutel. And right. If your friends, people don't know, I'm not talking about the character on Ballers, the actor that plays Joey Crutel alongside of Spencer Strassmore, aka The Rock, on Ballers, but the actual real Joe Crutel, who is the producer of Ballers, who I have the great honor and just blessing and privilege to call a friend, that he calls me a friend, that we, if not text, DM, talk, almost.
You guys are always, you talk about him often. And
every day. And if there's somebody that I know I trust, that I can bounce something off of, hey, if there's somebody that has connected me, the amount of people Joey has connected me to. And the reason he does is, and I say this as humbly as this can sound, is he trusts me. And he trusts me that I would never abuse a relationship. I would never use a relationship. I would never go around him for a relationship. I would never sully his bad name. If that's, am I old by saying sully his bad name? Is that old?
I don't know what that means. What is that?
Old. So, but that I would never, and which is why Joe and I are the relationship we have today, and the relationship I have in this new company is because Joey said, the mayor's the guy. That's the guy you want. That's the guy, and to get his seal of approval, and so to your audience and people out there, I can't explain it to you. It just has to be in you to know how to do all these. If you're going to be a consultant, and if you're going to be in the brand space, and you're going to connect, and you want to do things that like that, it does require the knowledge of knowing that people can trust you, and they can trust you with their real. Because let me tell you, I think my Rolodex is a lot because of Joey's Rolodex, and my Rolodex is existed because of him, and because of that relationship that we have. But he's one of the, again, kindest, smartest, genuine human beings I've ever met. And
we love you, Joe.
We love Joe Crutel. But he is, in my opinion, it's kind of funny. He's kind of known as the mayor of Miami, and he's like, oh, so you got I was like, it was given to me, boss. I call him, he's kind of funny. I call him boss a lot. And Joey and I are the same age, right? Like, we're both 52 years old this year. But I'm like, hey, boss, what's going on? Because that's how I see him. I see him as the boss. I see him as that,
he's a boss.
The term. And I'm going to say this. I know you won't understand this, Borris, but I'm just going to say he's kind of like the Godfather. Um,
Nah, no, I
and
said
for
that.
all of you out here on Borris's podcast, he's never seen The Godfather or The Godfather 2, which in order to see The Godfather 2,
Yeah.
Godfather 1, but Godfather 2 is better than The Godfather 1. All of
Oh
you
boy.
will know. So I'm putting him on the spot on his own
Yeah.
podcast. King Borris, you really don't understand a whole lot of things until you watch The Godfather.
The Godfather. I promise I will watch it.
You heard him, everybody, on KB Experiment. He is going to watch.
A live viewing. We could do that.
You know, so because of Joey, you know, I have friends that are, you know, guys. I've been on the set of Ballers. We actually had our product on one of the episodes of Ballers, our sports beverage, because of Joey, and that opened up. You know, again, it's all about network. I can't, boy, if there's a phrase I can't explain to people enough, is that, you know, I've heard the phrase, "Oh, your network's your net worth," and all. I get all that, but listen, if you don't know how to mine your network,
Right.
you don't know how to not monetize, because monetize sounds a little pimpish, like you're trying to use people, and you know,
Right.
I don't like that term, really. Monetize your network. Your network there are people in your network you're never going to make a dollar off of.
Right.
But it's about relationship that you learn from, or that there's always give and take. So when I say that, you know, your net worth doesn't always have to be about money. It can be.
Well, yeah. I mean, your net worth, you know, and that could be the influence that you get from them, because that's a form of value, you know. So I think that, you know, if you want to dissect that statement, it could go a long way. Some people, if your filter that you see the world through is money, then that's how you're going to see everything. But, you know, to me, it would mean much more. I've learned from so many people that I've never worked with that are in my network that I may even be able to work with them. I don't know, but I learned from them, and that value that I get is just, you know, you can't replace it with money.
Right.
So, you know, I think that net worth, your network is your net worth, means
Correct.
different things to different people.
100%.
You know.
Cash App. I hope you're using it, because everybody uses it. I use it like crazy. But if you're not, it's all good. You're here now. Hit the link in the description. You get $5, I get $5. $5 for nothing that's what I'm talking about. Cash App. I do have the Cash App card, by the way. That's pretty cool, because when people pay me with Cash App, it's like extra money to me. So I just use the Cash App card to buy random things that I probably don't need, but oh well. Cash App. Description. Click it. Join now.
And I'm also going to give, so there's something I learned not only from Joey, which contributes to where you kind of gave me the name, and it goes back to a book that I actually read that Joey is actually very good friends, because he was involved with back in the day with the other TV show, the HBO Entourage. I will tell you that there's a book that I have sitting. It's literally sitting next to my big leather chair here in my office, and sits on my book stand next to my Cigar Aficionado magazines, my Ovation magazines, and my everything that's sitting here. Is a book by Jeremy Piven, and it's written from the perspective of the character Ari Gold from Entourage, and it's called Rules to Rule By: The Gold Standard. And out of all these amazing business books I've read, from John Maxwell books to, you know, The Art of the Deal by you know, President Trump, and the books he's written, you know, There's No Such Thing as Overexposure, and you know, from, you know, the Gary Vee books I've read, all the business. I will tell you, as crazy as it sounds, one of the best business books that you will ever read, if your audience will go pick it up, is a book called Ari Gold, The Gold Standard Rules to Rule By, written by Jeremy. Jeremy Piven is
Right.
and it's unbelievable. And one of the things he talks about in there is you have to be seen. Like if you're not somewhere, you're not anywhere. And you can't sit in your office and expect to impact people. And you can't sit in your office and if you're not where things are going on. And so, I've had the great fortune of being, an NBA All-Star weekend, and meeting, just countless. Because you remember,
you told me.
You remember that, being out with all that and, meeting the guys from Entrepreneur Magazine through relationships and, the myriads of people that I've gotten to meet aren't because I sit in an office and I post pictures on Instagram or I, put pictures up on Facebook and I don't even know how to use TikTok. And so, but just
TikTok.
Business doesn't, you have to go and find it. You have to be, because that's how opportunity happens. Whether you're at a networking meeting, whether you're at, you have to be out. And I don't mean to just be out to party, but you have to be so that you never know who you're going to meet that literally is the next relationship, next business opportunity, next anything. And if that's another one of my just kind of core things is that you have to be out in the public. You have to get out and I know in this whole social distancing thing, you can still be 6 feet away and still talk to people, right? You have to be out in the space and you have to be at events and you have to be places that make sense for what you do. Let me I guess put the caveat to that, right?
Of course. Well, within reason, I mean, there's always a back end to everything, meaning, you got your business events and all that, but, the after party or, other places where specific people that, let's say you want your network would commingle, things like that. I think that, and I'll touch on that in a minute, because it's strategy as you try to build this network, because people, they don't know how to build a network.
Right.
So they can't even get to that point. But sharing some of that insight on how to do it, I think is important because, if you can do it, whatever comes out of it should be a positive step in your life. So, but yeah, like you're saying, right place, not just any place, but, don't meet at the porn shop because that'll be weird.
Well, unless you have a male enhancement or a product that works for that space. I mean, you never know. I mean, that could be a plug about something I might be involved in, but I can't really say much more about that. But I'm just saying, I obviously, I've connected you with another friend of mine that's in the space, and we connected at a comedy club because. Funny story.
Yes.
Shameless plug for one of my good friends from 5th grade, going all the way back to 5th grade in Delray Beach, Florida, where the mayor is from, Miami, Delray area, is a guy named Jay Davis. And Jay Davis is the host, comedy booker for the Laugh Factory in Hollywood.
Yes.
And Jay and I have been friends since the 5th grade, lost track after graduation. I happened to be in LA for business. One of my longtime friends from high school saw a post on Facebook that he was landing in LA at LAX to go to because he was coming in town for a Dolphins game. My favorite football team, Miami Dolphins. I've grown up with my entire life in South Florida. They're playing. I believe they were playing the Rams in LA, and Greg's in town. I said, "Dude, let's get together." He goes, "Oh yeah, meet with Jay Davis." Jay Davis, what? Oh my God, Jay. He goes, "Oh yeah, dude, he's in I was like, comedy, what? Well, long story short in this, I'll make it quick. We all meet for coffee. Yeah. I find out what Jay's been doing Jay knows every person you could ever imagine. He is brilliant, funny. Please, everybody follow Jay Davis Comedy. I'll make sure we get a thing. And then he's another one. We'll try to do a podcast with Jay, brother. Jay's a dear friend of mine. But Jay, books all the guys, and then he's the host MC for Friday nights and Saturdays at Glass Factory. But on top of that, funny story, he and Joey Crutel have known each other for years. And lo and behold, we're like, are you, like, Joey's like, you know Jay? I was like, dude, I've known Jay since the 5th grade. And Jay's like, how do you know Joey? And right. And again, it's that I had no idea how that was all going to come. I had no idea. Right. And now Jay's connected me and we've done some things, you know what I mean? So listen, I am, as you know, I'm the non-famous Kevin Bacon. Man, and it's because, of people like Joey or people like Jay and guys that I've gotten, that I've just, there's 6 degrees of all of us connecting around the world. But, there's just some people that don't know what to do with that. And then there's some people like me that know how to help build that and do something with it. And I've actually had to talk to CEOs that I've talked to that have asked me, questions about, oh, do you know this person? I'm like, look, if I give you a name or I'm telling you I know somebody in conversation, it's not a name drop. It's not I'm trying to make myself look. It is based on what I think I can help you do something, and it's a value added thing that I'm bringing to you. And if I tell you a name or a person, it's because I've had breakfast, lunch, dinner, I have their phone number, right? I have their number in my phone. We've partied, we've been to a sporting event. I don't consider just because I've met, I'll give you a name. All right. Ready? I'll give a name. Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
I've met Floyd once. Right. I've never met him. No, I have. I'm kidding. I've been with an event with Floyd one time. I know Floyd's head of security very well, but I've only said hello, hey, hi. But I would never tell anybody, I know Floyd Mayweather, because I don't.
Right.
Right. I know his security guy because I've actually hung out with him. And we've done some. Every time I've ever, I've had when I've sent, I've had people out in Vegas, and I've said, hey, can you hook them up with something? Sure. Give me their names. And if he's in, he'll take care of them. Right. So there's that, but I wouldn't run around and just because I've met him, doesn't mean I have that. Right. But at that same event, I met DJ Irie. Well, DJ Irie is unbelievable. He's done the MLB. He's an unbelievable DJ in Miami. He's friends with Joey. I got pictures with DJ. I've got DJ's phone number in my phone. Well, I actually know DJ because I've actually talked to Irie post the event. We've talked numerous times. The sponsor was going to get involved with his foundation, do some different things. I can actually tell somebody, well, it was a funny story. I'm sitting in this new partner of mine's office out in Newport a couple weeks ago. We're sitting there talking, and he's looking through a magazine that I've had brought over to his office, and we're going through it. He goes, DJ Irie. He goes, oh man, he's my guy. I was like, oh really? You know Irie? He goes, yeah, Paul. He's my DJ at my club. And I was like, what? He goes, do you know Irie? I was like, yeah, I know Irie. Here's how he goes. So that's a conversation I can have about something, right? That comes to, it means something. And so I've actually had guys look at me like, oh, you're full of shit. You really know these people? I'm like, yeah, man, I don't need to blow smoke. The people I have relationships with are because I have them. I don't fake a relationship with somebody. I don't, because guess what? In today's world, in today's 24-hour connection, cell phone, all that world, it is pretty simple to figure out whether you know somebody or whether you have access to somebody or whether you can talk to somebody, right? I mean, that's just
right.
It's real fast. And so people that run around, dropping names but have no access, because it's weirder. That's more along the lines of just because, Joey might know somebody, I would never sit here and go, oh yeah, I can get to, oh yeah, I know Dwayne. Well, yeah, I met Dwayne on set at Ballers, but Dwayne wouldn't know me from anybody because I've never done anything more, right? It's never been a relationship. But I've had people go, hey, do you have access? Well, I have access. Whether I can make that happen, I don't know. I can just call my buddy, right, and ask him, can we, and if it makes sense, then maybe that can happen. And that's what too many people, I think, get caught up in, is they they put on, Gary talks about this. There's the persona of all these people out on social media that, they're rolling in Mercedes and, they're rolling in all their stuff, but it's all photo ops and it's not, it's not real life.
It's bullshit.
100%.
It's bullshit. I have a net worth of like $13.15, but my net worth is great. But you know what though? That goes back to it's not about money. If I was money hungry, people won't mess with you. They won't mess with you when you're money hungry. And I want money. How could I, pay me for this? I know that I'll hook people up. I'll do a lot of extra stuff for free. But it's come back to me. And I know I'm going to say between this year and next year, financially, it's going to come back to me.
Well, I love what you've done for even people I've sent your way, right? Like people that I've connected you with. What have you done? Hey, I'll do this for free for you for the first, whatever,
month,
30 days.
Whatever.
Yeah, right. Let me show you what I can do before you pay me for what I do.
Yeah.
And right, I know you do. And so, and I respect, your knowledge and what you've done for me. You have the amount of ability and what you've given me the ability to go do things that I wouldn't be able to do. There's a lot of things I wouldn't be able to do without you, and you know that.
Nice.
And specifically on the social media side, you've allowed me to be able to have a platform through what you do for me to be able to talk about the different brands that I have a relationship with, that I'm either consulting for, helping, raise capital for, and just so your listeners know, what I really do is I have access to investors, distribution networks, grocery retail chains, convenience store retail, chains across America. I put products on the shelf nationwide. From the Safeway, Albertsons networks.
You sent me some, so
Yeah, so the brands that I help allow me to have a platform through what you do for my social media back end, so to speak, to be able to do things that I can to help the companies I consult for. So, at this point, I just, I think the world of you. You're my guy. Like, anybody wants to know anything about social media, you're the guy I tell them to go talk to. You're the guy that, hey, go work with Borris and he'll, and your whole team, from, what you guys do now in the web development and, with Facebook and Google and all the stuff you guys
do. We've expanded, KV Media is a thing now, just so everybody knows, and anything that's on the internet, I can touch. So, and that took years to do, but it's growing, and again, because of all this, it would never happen if I didn't pick up Instagram, because that's where it all started.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, we're going on about an hour.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm going to do this because I know you said I could. So I'm going to do the shameless plug at the end for everybody.
The plugs.
The first out is going to go to my my folks over at Tequila Diamante. They have created one of the next, right up there, high quality, great price tequila. So if you're a tequila drinker, please check out tequiladiamante.com. Great company, great friends. They literally drove from LA in the middle of all this stuff in the Diamante truck from LA to Phoenix. The entire ownership team sat down, came to my house. We had tequila at my bar.
Oh, yes. I remember.
Right. We cooked steaks on the grill. I had the entire team outside hanging out here in Phoenix. And I think the world of those guys, going to do a lot to help them. My friends over at Vault Media Group and Mark Skelly, they are building a premier sports and entertainment digital platform, from baseball to golf to a magazine called Ovation Magazine. So, all of you guys, please follow them on Instagram, Tequila Diamante, Ovation Magazine. My dear friend Carla Berkowitz, who owns Perfect Balance World, look them up. She has the only patented line of yoga clothing in the marketplace. Smart technology. It's Twister for yoga. All of you yogi people out there that might listen to Borris. Yogis. Check out her line of clothing. I'm doing a lot to help Carla right now with her brand. As you know, we connected back in the day over some other things with CBD. I will tell you that in my opinion, I have my friends here in Phoenix that have a 15,000 square foot manufacturing facility. They are the smartest people I know in the cannabis CBD industry. That's Kurtz Concentrates. Please follow them, kurtzconcentrates.com. And a new company. I'll just go ahead and make an announcement. I'm going to be heading up everything for Aced Out Clothing. My friend Steve Adler. Steve Adler is just got his license with the Major League Baseball Players Association. He actually has hats that he is licensed for, hats that have all the players' names on them. So go check out Aced Out Clothing.
That's a great deal.
And it's unbelievable. So I'm going to be helping Steve because of my relationship in the Major League Baseball world. I'll be heading up his direct relationship to the players. And so please go check out, if you have a favorite player, he has that hat. Trust me. Go check him out. And he has their hats going. And I've got a lot of, I could keep going on because there's a lot of fun.
We'll do a second podcast.
We'll do a segment. We'll do a segment on just the clients, the people. And there's a couple things that, like I said, I can't even really announce because we're
right. Well, of course.
There are a couple fun things that are going on. I do have, as you know, I'm a cigar lover. I have my own line of cigars, the Mayor Paul Harris cigars I have that are hand.
I still don't have one, by the way. But.
Because people sending me cigars, I haven't. So I've got to actually put an order in with my guys down in Tampa to get my cigars sent out to me.
We all heard it.
And you heard it. And then my friends at everybody lives in Scottsdale. Make sure in the Phoenix market, go visit Torch Cigar Bar and John and Kelly. My favorite place to go have an adult beverage and smoke a cigar. Besides my backyard, which is my
Everybody go follow Paul because I like his backyard. That alone is nice just to see it on his feed. I'm like, man, that's nice. You send me pictures often. Look what I'm doing today. I'm like, thanks.
I have a 2,200 foot peak behind the house, and I get to hike it when it's not 112 like it is today. And I will say this to finish this off. Thank you, King Borris, for your friendship. We've broke bread together. We've hung out. I've been out in your neck of the woods. Thank you for everything you've done to give me a platform to do what I do best. And I would not, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I would not be able to do the work that I do and the things that I love to do without your support giving me the platform to do it on. So I thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate those words, and I'm blessed to be able to even do what I'm doing and to connect with people like you. And same love to you, my brother, because you've put money in my pocket that has helped me and my family through the contacts. So you're a brother for life. There's no doubt about that. I appreciate you too, and I will be flying to your house soon so we can go drink some of that tequila. So,
I love you, man. To the KB audience, be safe during this crazy times. Be blessed, and remember, always give more than you take. Love people, and at the end of the day, remember, people and relationships, value that more than money, because that's really all we have in this life for our friends.
Yeah. And for God's sakes, take the shopping cart and put it back in the bin. It makes a mess, please. All right, my brother, I had to end it with a laugh. So we'll talk. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Make sure you go follow Paul. Did you plug yourself yet? Or do it again.
I've been plugging myself for an hour and 8 minutes.
No, I mean directly. Like, where do we find you?
Please find me on the Mayor Paul Harris on Instagram. That is the place I live. That's the place I love and live. There is a website that is in development through the quarantine. I knew that was something that needed to be done, and I know you're helping me with getting that situated as well, so I can have another platform to kind of have people go to see something with all the other things that I'm doing. So there you go.
Yes.
That's where to find me.
All right, brother. You stay safe and blessed, and everybody take care. KB Experiment.
The mayor out.
Peace.
What's up, King Borris? Said it's Mr. Talkbout, yeah. And I wanted to show you some love. Yes, I did. Everybody go check out KingBorris.com.